If Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her. You know?
Stop it! Oh, it's so weird.
You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab them by the.
Donald Trump's quotes are so shocking that even people outside the US find them quite baffling, to say the least. Welcome to our channel, and today we'll be presenting you with another incredible presidential edition, this time featuring the dumbest Donald Trump quotes ever. Stay until the end of our video and find out about which one was by far the most mind-boggling Donald Trump quote ever. And also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and to turn notifications on for more great videos like this one. 10th place, COVID-19 is a badge of honor. The COVID-19 pandemic has pretty much left some people by the seat of their pants regarding their finances, their jobs, and their food. Many were displaced, laid off, and relying on stimulus checks just to survive during the last few months. But the richest people in the US, Trump included in them, were mostly unaffected by its effects. On May 21st, Trump declared to reporters at the White House,
So actually the number of cases, and we're also a much bigger country than most. So when we have a lot of cases, I don't look at that as a bad thing. I look at that as, in a certain respect, as being a good thing because it means our testing is much better. So if we were testing 1 million people instead of 14 million people, we would have far fewer cases, right? So I view it as a badge of honor. Really, it's a badge of honor. It's a great tribute to the testing and all of the work that a lot of professionals have done.
when you say that we lead in coronavirus cases, that's because we have more testing than anybody else. So when we have a lot of cases, I don't look at that as a bad thing. I look at that as, in a certain respect, as being a good thing because it means our testing is much better. So I view it as a badge of honor. Really, it's a badge of honor. It's a great tribute to the testing and all of the work that a lot of professionals have done. Trump went on to announce that within a week, America would be deploying 4 million testing kits. The tests are beautiful. Anybody that needs a test gets a test. Okay, what was Trump thinking when he said that? Did he seemingly forget the amount of people who died due to COVID-19? Or did he just not care about them in the slightest? 9th place, assassinating Hillary Clinton. This is when things began getting out of hand in case they weren't already. Trump was accused of making an assassination threat against Hillary Clinton during the 2016 campaign.
Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment. By the way, and if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know.
Speaking at a rally in Wilmington, North Carolina, the then Republican candidate said, Hillary wants to essentially abolish the Second Amendment, the right to have a gun. He continued, if she gets to pick her judges, nothing you can do, folks. Although the Second Amendment people, maybe there is, I don't know. But I'll tell you what, that will be a horrible day. Robbie Mook, Clinton's campaign manager at the time, issued a statement. This is simple. What Trump is saying is dangerous. A person seeking to be the president of the United States should not suggest violence in any way. 8th place, killing COVID-19 with flight. It's safe to say that if there's something all countries can agree on during these times, is that we need to find a cure for COVID-19 as fast as possible. However, Trump seems to have the lead over world-class scientists, researchers, and medical experts who work day and night to be able to find a possible cure and develop a vaccine.
Which I find to be very interesting. So, supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. I would like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to cure.
Suppose that we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, Trump said at a White House coronavirus briefing on April 23rd, before continuing, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. He then suggested that ingesting disinfectant might kill the virus. Is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? It sounds interesting to me, so we'll see. But the whole concept of the light, the way it kills it in 1 minute, that's pretty powerful. Maybe if we were in a science fiction film, Trump, but sadly we're not. 7th place, Trump on immigration. Trump and immigration have always been iffy topics, as Donald Trump is not very fond of illegal immigrants. I think we all know this by now, but sometimes the president goes out of his way to highlight what he's doing with immigrants.
Through a process, you do it in a very humane manner.
But they're not going to want to leave. You're going to have to hire a lot of people.
We're rounding them up in a very humane way, in a very nice way. And they're going to be happy because they want to be legalized. And by the way, I know it doesn't sound nice, but not everything is nice. Well, that seemed more like a quote intended to be sweet that ended up sounding more bitter than normal. It's almost like compassion disguised as dislike. 6th place, on Syrian refugees. Trump is going to prevent another disaster by leaving the Syrian refugees out of the U.S.
We have people coming into the country, trying to come in. We're stopping a lot of them. But we're taking people out of the country. You wouldn't believe how bad these people are. These aren't people.
Once again, he's not very fond of immigrants in any form of way. What I won't do is take in 200,000 Syrians who could be ISIS. I've been watching this migration, and I see the people. I mean, they're men. They're mostly men, and they're strong men. These are physically young, strong men. They look like primetime soldiers. Now, it's probably not true, but where are the women? So you ask two things. Number one, why aren't they fighting for their country? And number two, I don't want these people coming over here. 5th place, on the lack of a threat posed by the virus. On March 6th, Trump was in Atlanta, Georgia, where he visited the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The U.S. at that point had 15 documented coronavirus cases.
Of the 15 people, the original 15 as I call them, 8 of them have returned to their homes, to stay in their homes until fully recovered. 1 is in the hospital, and 5 have fully recovered, and 1 is, we think, in pretty good shape, and it's in between hospital and going home. So we have a total of, 15 people, and they're in a process of recovering, with some already having fully recovered.
Within a couple of days, Trump announced, infections are going to be down to close to 0. One day, it's like a miracle. It will disappear. 4th place, talking about Mexicans. Trump has always made his feelings about Mexicans clear. Way back in June 2015, Trump announced his candidacy at Trump Tower. He then shared his deeply prejudiced views on a nation of 125 million people.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending the best. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime. They're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people, but I speak to border guards, and they're telling me what we're getting. 3rd place, Trump's extremely weird logic regarding abortion. Trump seems to have quite a weird logic regarding abortion and a woman's body.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion? Yes or no, as a principle?
The answer is that there has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman?
Yeah, there has to be some form.
10 cents, 10 years.
Do you believe in punishment for abortion, yes or no, as a principle? The answer is there has to be some form of punishment. For the woman? Yeah, there has to be some form. If abortion isn't painful enough at an emotional and physical level, then why not add a punishment for abortion too? That way, women can't complain of it being too easy. 2nd place, Trump eating his own words. Next up, we have another incredibly bizarre quote by Trump, said back on January 10th. Trump said the following.
I would say Mexico's going to pay for it. Obviously, I never said this and I never meant they're going to write out a check. I said they're going to pay for it.
When during the campaign I would say, Mexico's going to pay for it, obviously I never said this, and I never meant they're going to write out a check. Is he trying to rewrite history or what? We all know that Trump mentioned, at least 500 million times during his campaign that Mexico would need to make $1 billion payment to the United States for the wall. On top of that, when Trump asked crowds at his rallies in 2016 who was going to pay for the wall, they shouted back, Mexico. Ask any Trump supporter if that's not right. First place, Trump's other parts. Apparently, not many people are fond of Trump's hands and other body parts.
You said I had small hands. They're not small, are they? I never heard. I just have people say, Donald, you have the most beautiful hands.
When verbally attacked during a debate in 2016 on Fox News, he assured Americans that there's nothing wrong with his hands, or any other parts of his body for that matter. He said the following quote, "My fingers are long and beautiful, as, it has been well documented, are various other parts of my body." And despite this incredibly awkward and totally out of context quote, this is also demonstrably not the first time somebody has insulted Trump's hands, and those parts have proven to be a very sensitive topic for him. So, what's your opinion on these dumb quotes by Donald Trump? Which one was the most absolutely out of context quote? Let us know in the comments below. Also, make sure to leave us a like, share this video with your friends, and also subscribe to our channel for more great videos like today. We hope you enjoyed our video, and we'll see you next time.
I've never said I'm a perfect person, nor pretended to be someone that I'm not. I've said and done things I regret, and the words released today on this more than a decade-old video are one of them.